Our world seems to be changing every day. So what's happening with the coronavirus now? How is the world reacting to it? Why are some countries more affected by this epidemic than others, like Iran and Italy? Is it because they could have hidden ties to the CCP or Chinese Communist Party? What about celebrities and public figures? Which ones are at the most risk? Are any even being quarantined? And what is the Chinese Communist Party saying about the virus now? Did you know that they even released guidelines for US-related propaganda during this pandemic? Find out about all this and more only from the Edge of Wonder.
There are now many reports coming out about a huge amount of lung transplants in China, but China has no organ donation system. So where do you think these lungs are coming from?
According to Mingwei.org, which keeps track of the persecution of Falun Gong, it states that even though the CCP virus is spreading, practitioners are still being arrested and persecuted. Falun Gong is a meditation practice based on the universal principles of truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance, and it believes in God or the divine creator. We have videos about this on YouTube.
So why are they being persecuted? Well, we believe this is because now there is a high demand of new lungs from victims who have the virus in China. So now it seems that a huge amount of lung transplants is now happening because China has no organ donation system and these are being harvested illegally.
So the only way they can do transplants on a large scale is through illegal ways such as illegal organ harvesting, as we just mentioned. We have covered this on our show many times, but this is a very serious topic and one that spans even into the deep state over here.
We believe the deep state has been working with China on these matters and probably there are even more horrors than people know. One rumor circulating online, which we can't confirm, is that blood is coming out of China into the hands of the elites who drink, bathe in, or do whatever it is that they do. Also, adrenochrome uses, that phrase, now seems to be an unlocked term on Google search.
If you don't know what that is, just look it up. But there are rumors that the adrenochrome is being harvested from children in China whose parents have been arrested, killed, or jailed for practicing Falun Gong or Falun Dafa, or being a so-called enemy of the state for any other religion you practice or just going against the CCP in general.
Right. So it sounds unbelievable, but the live organ harvesting is happening, and now we have a virus being spread on purpose. We also know baby soup is real in China, so we are sure that they're doing all kinds of horrors to people, including children.
We're probably going to get more into that in a future episode. So right now we want to give you guys the most recent updates on the virus that we know so far, and some of this is going to get intense.
This is what we have heard from people in Wuhan, very well-connected people like the military personnel and some Chinese people that we personally know. So, Wuhan is about ready to go through a massive second wave of the virus. This is not being reported and the CCP has not made this public. Already, we are getting reports that things are getting worse.
But they're saying it's great. The reason why they don't want to make it public is because they're waiting for flights to open up again into Wuhan. Once they do, they will blame the US for allowing contaminated people into their country, even though it was already being spread. We are calling this out now.
Yes, this is how evil the CCP is. They would rather destroy their own people than admit to any wrong and save face. We also heard that high-ranking officials in China have the virus and some have already started to die or may soon die. This has shook the party to its core. Anyone who has been dealing with these officials overseas probably are going to be at risk.
The CCP is lying to the Chinese people, saying that's even worse overseas than it is in China and that this virus was created by the US. They're using all of their resources and influence to even have Western media start saying this while purposefully criticizing Trump. You can see that as a trend right now in the news.
Yeah, this is a deliberate attack by the CCP to criticize Trump. One of the biggest and most deceitful lies they are using is trying to convince the Chinese people and even the rest of the world how great communism is, if you can believe this. They are doing this by saying in a democratic country, you have to get votes, parties have to agree, and it takes time to take action.
Whereas in a communist country, the leader of the country makes the decisions like a dictatorship and everyone has to follow orders no matter what. So they claim they can make faster decisions and my God, my head hurts.
Right, because this is exchange for having zero freedom or even a voice whatsoever. You must obey even if you don't like it, and if you speak out, you will be arrested, persecuted, or killed. They created this virus and again have not apologized once for what happened, and instead they are blaming the US.
In fact, they keep just promoting themselves as if they're the savior of the people over and over, and they have this massive propaganda campaign right now to prop up the Chinese Communist Party and tell the people over there that they're being saved directly by the Chinese Communist Party when they're the ones who made the virus and killed everyone.
And that is exactly what is happening.
Yeah. So in a democratic country, there is a vote and the people are allowed to show disapproval without fear of being killed. Right? The only thing we deal with over here is the censorship from the frickin' MSM for even talking about the virus in any matter that the World Health Organization doesn't like.
Yeah, or YouTube, which is working together with all of these groups. To understand how evil the CCP is and the corrupt and evil people who are aiding it, this is really about eugenics. I mean, they would seriously rather kill off a bunch of people and even harm their own citizens than to face the world in defeat. I mean, no one can even understand the level of how much evil this entails.
Yeah. So to show you how they only care about themselves, there's even a document that they published in Chinese called FAQ on Guidelines for US-related Propaganda During the Coronavirus Pandemic. Here's some of what it says.
Question: if there is no outbreak in the US, what should we do? Answer: focus on the angle that the coronavirus is a biowarfare launched by the US against the Chinese people. Be aware that only our own pro-CCP media is allowed to do the propaganda.
Stop. It's so weird. Question: if a large-scale epidemic occurs in the US, how do we handle it? Answer: we need to emphasize that the American political system is not suitable for epidemic control. In the meantime, we should highly praise the advantage of the political system in China. Right.
Yeah. Question: if the epidemic breaks out in the US on a limited scale, what should we do? Answer: we can indicate that the American people cannot afford the coronavirus test, which leads to a lower number of confirmed cases.
Question: what if the number of deaths is low in the US? Well, what do we do then? Answer: then focus on the death rates of other diseases.
Question: what do we do if Americans criticize their government? Answer: we can point out that the political system in the US has failed to reflect public opinion, hence the criticism of the government.
What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
This is like sticking your head in a bag of cats. Question: what if Americans do not criticize their government? Answer: we can indicate that the US government is covering up the coronavirus cases to mislead the public.
Question: what if conflict between two political parties, Democrats and Republicans, intensifies because of coronavirus? Answer: we can say the American political system is like a dogfight that is unable to concentrate on important things.
Question. Pro tip. Question: what if the two US parties work together to combat the coronavirus? Answer: we can point out that the two-party system in the US is hypocritical and deceiving because now they're working together. I mean, they must be hypocritical then.
Question: what if in the end the US has lower numbers of confirmed cases, deaths, and death rates? What should we do? Answer: we should emphasize that the great sacrifice made by China has saved the world. I mean, this is not. Wait. This is like real stuff.
But seriously, the sad part of this is that many of the elites actually sold their souls to this. And now they have no choice but to carry out this plan in destroying America, and they control a lot of the mainstream media around the world. I mean, this literally, you guys, this is the bag of cats that they swore to.
Yes, the sad part is that a lot of our own media over here are actually thanking the CCP for doing the great job that they are doing in the aftermath of all of this instead of blaming them and instead blaming Trump for calling it the China virus.
However, weird things really are happening right now, such as Ilhan Omar praising Trump's incredible response to the coronavirus pandemic. We couldn't believe it either, just like all of you. However, the Washington Post, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and CNN didn't even cover that.
Yeah, which is strange because how much they're promoting her. And then she says something positive. It's like, oh, we won't.
It's almost like she married one of their brothers.
Aside from all of this, we are hearing now from multiple sources that this virus actually changes from person to person, almost as if it's kind of like mutating, which makes it very challenging to find a cure and also to identify.
This is also why we believe it's a genetic engineered bioweapon, a very complicated one, in fact. Whoever created this with the CCP is the most evil scum on the planet, hands down.
For sure. Actually, I would even say the universe. But also, in one of our episodes, we talked about a prophecy of Lou Bowen, who prophesied about this virus coming into this year, and according to his prophecy, will last until around July or August, which make it a little intense according to this prophecy.
We're going to have to do an entire episode just prophecy related on what's happening right now in the world.
We're going to give you guys updates as much as we can each week about the virus.
Also, dude, it's possible New York City might go into lockdown, meaning we're not going to be able to come into the office. And if this is the case, Ben and I are going to have a backup plan, but it's not going to be quite as glamorous as everything you see now.
You know? Yeah, I mean, we're just
going to be us with bedhead from our homes kind of going back and forth or something.
So if New York does go on lockdown, we will be at our homes. I'll be at my home, he'll be at his home, and we'll just do a split screen and just try to
give you guys updates.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, like he said, it's not going to be as glamorous. But also, we're trying to get access to our edgeofwonder.tv to show live streams there as well, to keep you guys updated. So we'll see what we can do. Because if we're both separated, it's going to be really hard to make videos like how we're doing now. So we got to come up with some creative ideas. And one way we thought is like, well, you know, we'll talk about the virus and everything, go live on YouTube, but also try to make some content, even though it's not going to be in our studio, that we can provide for edgeofwonder.tv.
So, all right, you guys, we're going to be doing a bunch of different episodes on the coronavirus coming up. We're going to be covering a bunch of different things. We're going to go more in depth on the Chinese propaganda at some point that's going on, because we do see the media ramping up a lot to basically say bad things about the US. And there's a big story there. Okay, so we're also going to be covering, I think, a lot of the confusion on Twitter. There's a lot of folks that are used to researching this as if this is a part of the plan. And actually, I really think that this is not status quo. This is something no one expected that's kind of getting inserted into all of this, and it's kind of coming out of left field. So there's a lot of people that are confused, and this is why we see bad actors dropping character a lot. Like Ilhan Omar, we saw a CNN reporter saying positive things about Trump the other day. I think when people's lives actually get affected, you start seeing stuff like this, like directly, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Trump's team and everything are using this virus, but at the flip side of this, it is a virus that's affecting everything. You know, people weren't really sure at the beginning.
Yeah.
But this is real. This is really happening, and it's a threat now to our world.
You know, not to say anything, you know, certainly bad about our fellow researchers out there. Everybody's trying to do their best to figure out what's going on. But we do have to say, anyone saying that this virus isn't real, or, oh, I don't know anyone with the virus, you guys, this could get rough. Like, we're not trying to scare anyone, but everyone really does need to, like, man up spiritually and just not think that this is something fake that's going to go away in a couple of weeks. We need to prepare, I think.
It could, it could last a lot longer, and we're just
trying to prepare you guys for that, not trying to scare you at all. On edgeofwonder.tv and on YouTube, we're going to be publishing a lot more videos, not just about the virus, but also ones on how to keep your spirits up spiritually. I think a lot of these things are going to become relevant very soon.
And we'll do we'll do our best to get as much information as we can, and if, we'll do it whatever way we can possibly, we'll do this.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, anyway, you guys, until next time, we'll see you out
on the edge.